Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 6 of the Healthy Eating Bootcamp. It's been my pleasure to spend these weeks with you. My name is Holly Niles, and I'm a clinical nutritionist. And over these 6 weeks, we have really reviewed the basics of nutrition, why we eat the foods we eat, what is the nutritional value of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, how do we put a meal together in the easiest way, simple guidelines, recipes, tips for snacks. And we've really set a framework up. And as we move into our final week, this is a great time to really talk about the things that can really sustain our healthy eating. So what I've observed over many years of sitting across from hundreds of patients and clients is that everyone feels better when they eat clean, when they eat whole real food, where they keep out processed food and sugars. Everyone agrees that they feel better. And sometimes patients will report to me over time that they find they start to change their habits. They are not paying as much attention, or maybe they just go back to an easy habit that they used to do prior to focusing on healthy eating. And so today I'm just going to talk about a couple of things that I have seen to be helpful to support you in this process. So going forward, really, creating a lifestyle. So interestingly, the first thing is really about treats. So what I've learned is that, through life, food is more than function, and nutrition, it's pleasure. And we often have events and celebrations that are focused on food. So treats and sweets often come up as a challenge for people. So one way really to work with this is to mindfully choose a time, a treat that you will eat. So if you have a special event, a favorite restaurant that makes the most amazing flourless chocolate cake, for example, or some other dessert or treat that is really a favorite, plan ahead and choose a measured portion. Maybe you share it with a few people, or just decide you're going to have 3 forks full. Or what we find with treats is that very few people remember the 25th M&M, or the 7th bite of a dessert. It's really our first few bites that are the most pleasurable, the most memorable. So keeping portions small will usually satisfy, that desire for sweets without going overboard. And, I've had some clients have success with maybe choosing a day of the week, Thursdays or Saturdays, or one day that's the day they're going to have a treat. Also chocolate, really dark chocolate is a favorite of a lot of patients, and finding great chocolate and making a decision, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or, Wednesdays and Saturdays, or whatever days work for you, you're going to have a little measured portion of it, just as a touch of sweet to keep you, keep you satisfied and feel like you've got those little points of pleasure without going overboard. I think the other side, which is a more big picture focus, is to really, have some very clear goals. Really think of the long-term effects and benefits of the choices you're making. So many of us invest financially for our future with, 401ks or IRAs or different accounts to really sustain our financial support as we move through time in our life. But very few of us, stop and make a health goal. So, how do you really want to feel? How do you want your body to move as you go through the life cycle? No one wants to be a person who has health concerns or limited mobility. Everyone wants to feel more vital and healthy, even as they move through the decades, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. So making a goal now, the way you plan for investment, is really key. And, taking this time to focus on whole, real, clean food, limiting, the sugars, the processed foods, chemicals, alcohol, things like that, keeping those, really a very minimal sort of recreational piece is really an important part of investing in your health. So, take some time to think that through and write it out so that it no longer feels like a diet or a plan, but really part of a whole plan of your life or lifestyle for the long haul. So, I hope those tips are helpful. It's been really a pleasure connecting with you each week. We hope to do more programs like this. We welcome your feedback. What worked? What would you like to see more of as we go forward? And again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.